Hello and welcome to our video on how to import your Canvas course into your new Canvas shell. So this video is for those of you who have had a course previously and are having a new semester of the same course and want to bring your material from last semester into this new course. So all new courses have a Canvas shell like this, and instead of building from scratch, we're going to import a class that you have already taught in a previous semester. So, right on this home page, you can import existing content. If you already had content in here and wanted to grab a little bit of something from another course, you could come down here also to the very bottom to settings and go there. But because it's a brand new shell and we're on the home page, you can just go to import existing content. If you do not see this over here on the right hand side, it might be down at the bottom of the page if your browser window is narrower than mine is. Okay, so I'm going to click on import existing content, and then the drop down box here says select one. So I'm going to look at this, and there are lots of options here. If you had happened to have exported from a previous Canvas course, either at this college or another college, you could get that Canvas course export package and upload it to your computer. But if you've already been teaching at this college, this particular course in a previous semester, you don't have to do that extensive upload from your computer. You can just copy a Canvas course right here, the very first option. It warns you down here that if you import the same content or even different content more than once, you could overwrite some of the same existing content for the course. Meaning if you have pages in one module, let's say you were importing from two different classes into one class, and you had things that had the same name, you might get an overwrite, so you need to be careful about that. So it's a blank setup. This is what we're looking at here, where you had nothing already in the course. Copy a Canvas course, and then you click here, select a course. So when you do this, what it's going to show you are your previous semesters. So the first gray here says fall 2023. That's what we're moving into at this point. So we don't want either one of these because they would be blank, right? Next, we're looking back here at spring 2023. That would be our previous semester, the one we just finished. And if we wanted the same class, so let's say we wanted this Chem 3A class, then we'd want to choose it from here as opposed to spring 2022, assuming that you had the most recent updates here. You can go as far back as you've been teaching, so you could have a lot of them back there. But what we're looking for here really is their most recent version of the course. So here we would be picking from spring 2023. If you happened to be teaching a course with another person, in this case here you can see that the last name doesn't match with the others, you might want to check with them and make sure it's okay that you personally take their material and use it for yourself. That is their material, and you were just like a co-instructor, that kind of thing, then you need to make sure that you have their permission to take it. If you didn't, if you did co-teach it and there's only some of it you want, there are options for that. But let's say instead that we're just going to import from our own course. So we're going to pick Chem 42, and we're importing it into Chem 42. It would say Chem 42 up here in that case. I'm using a blank shell for something else, so that's why this one is a different name. But I would be looking to import Chem 42 into Chem 42. So I'm going to click on that one there, and I'm going to include completed courses. If you're past the date of the semester, so let's say spring ends at the end of May and it's now June, it would be a completed course. And so you want to make sure you check that box, or you might not see all of them in there. See here how we only have 2 semesters back here, and before that the other ones are not there anymore. So if I'd wanted to go back a whole year to fall, for example, if I teach the course a little bit differently in the fall than in the spring, then I'd want to make sure I check include completed courses. So again, I'm doing Chem 42, my own course, and I'm going to say select all content. That just brings everything in that I want to use in the course. If I did not want everything, I could say select specific content. So let's say that I didn't want to bring in my announcements from last semester because I do new announcements every year, or every semester. Or maybe you keep your announcements. I date my announcements and I can repurpose them. So I might want to bring in all of my announcements and use them over. So maybe I do want all content. Or maybe it is a course, like I was saying, that I'm sharing with somebody else. I don't want all the material from it. I just want the sections that I taught, so I could say select specific content for that. Right now, I'm just going to do all content, and we'll go back and do a second one where we do specific content, so I can show you that a little bit as well. And then I am going to adjust my events and due dates. If you, for some reason, do not have due dates in your Canvas shell, you do not have to check this, but it is fairly easy to do. Even if you're moving it from, say, spring into summer, which is only 8 weeks as opposed to the 16 weeks, you can get it to kind of guesstimate and change your due dates. This can be really important if this is an older class. Let's say I was importing this class from 2020. What it's going to do at that point is that all the assignments, if I did not shift the due dates or remove the due dates, one or the other, it would have them all be due in 2020, and it would automatically mark everybody late if you have late penalties on things. So for me, I do let the Canvas shell or the Canvas course mark things late for me, so I want to move my dates up so I don't have to go back in and erase a bunch of zeros from my course before I do anything else. That'd be a huge pain. So this course here, because I'm still in, when I'm videotaping this, I'm still in the spring semester. It's giving me these beginning and end dates here. If it doesn't give them to you, you can, again, just kind of guesstimate them. And I'm moving it to fall, and again, here I can kind of estimate. I would assume that fall is starting on the 14th. I could look it up. Maybe it's starting on the 21st, right? Let's say it's starting on the 14th. So I say that, and then I would go to the end date, and I want to kind of make sure that I get past the finals area, which is, see, it's hard for me to tell here without going and looking it up. It looks like in the fall we might actually have class all the way till the 22nd. So just in case, I'm going to mark that, or even the, no, I wouldn't do the 24th, definitely, because of Christmas. So I'm going to put the 22nd, and just let it kind of guess at this stuff. And I'm just wanting it to be close. I'm probably going to have to change it a little bit anyway. You don't always get a course on the same date. Maybe I had all my due dates on a Monday, and then it's going to make them all Mondays, and I'm going to need to move them all to Thursdays, that kind of thing. So it's just a guesstimate. And again, if this is like too much for you, you'd want to just do your own. I do recommend you probably remove the dates altogether, and then put them in afterwards so that you just don't get people auto-marked late. All right. You can put substitutions in as well. I usually skip that. So I'm shifting the dates. It's going to work out to match that. And then I'm going to say import. And I do not have to stay around for this running thing. I can go off and do something else. It doesn't load pieces. It'll just load all at once. So nothing will show in this course until this finishes. But if I had other courses to import, for example, I could go and do those and then come back to this one later. Not a big deal. That does this all on its own. Because I have nowhere to go, I will sit here and wait for this with you. Oh, you can see that was where it just jumped back to the beginning there. Hopefully it's going to do okay. I may speed this up a little bit if it takes a long time, so you don't have to sit here watching this with me. It can take a while if it's a large course. All right, there we go. So this is now completed, and I can go to my home page. And there you have it. You can see that my announcements are there and ready to reuse if I want to, and all of my information is in here as well. All right, so now I'm going to go back and do the other option where I import just specific parts of the course, okay? So I am going to clap my hands magically, and this course will be wiped out. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. So here I am in my magically re-blanked out course, and I'm gonna, once again, I've come into a brand new course here. I'm going to go to import existing content. I'm going to go up to the top here, copy a Canvas course. I'm going to choose my spring course right here, same course again, and this time I'm going to select specific content. There's nothing I can do on this page. I am still going to shift my dates, and it actually remembers this because I had just done it. But if you had not just done it, you would need to come in here and fill these out. And then I'm going to scroll down here and say import. And now, instead of just automatically importing, it says waiting for selection right here. And it wants me to select content. So I click on that. And now I can choose which things I want to import. In this case, I do want to import all of my modules. I want to import my syllabus. I want to import my course settings. If I have certain things that I do, like put a little picture on the course in the dashboard, or if I let students do certain things on the discussions and stuff, some of those settings options, I want to make sure I import my course settings as well. You can try leaving some of this stuff out. It should import the ones that need to go into the modules. But if you have extra things in there that you sometimes use, or you're just not sure, nervous about that, you could definitely come in here and check all of these and bring them in. Kind of your choice there. Rubrics you'd want to have, if you are using rubrics, you want to bring in all of those, and then files. And these have little individual things, so you could come in here also and look through, and anything that has an arrow next to it, you could come in and pick which ones you want if you're not sure, and be like, oh, I don't need this front page one, I never use that one. Mostly people do use front pages, that's a bad choice. These ones with asterisks, I never use these, I don't need to import those. And so you'll see now that it has the minus line, so that means some as opposed to all with the checkbox. Announcements, same thing, I could read my announcements and decide if I want to bring in all or none of those. In this case here, I'm going to say no announcements. I deleted a couple of the pages. Everything else I'm bringing in because I'm just not sure if I need it. And I don't use Blueprint, so I'm not going to bring in my Blueprint settings. All right. Then now I say select content, and we have the same thing as before at cues. And again, you don't have to stay here for this because the blue bar hasn't even come up this time. There it goes. Now it's running. But you don't have to sit around for this. You can go and do something else and come back later. It can take a while. The longest I've seen is like maybe 15 minutes. Usually more like 5. Again, depends on the course size and how many people are using Canvas at the time. So if Canvas is kind of getting bogged down, it might run more slowly for you. So if you're not patient, then just go off, be in your garden, have some coffee, watch a television show, anything you can do to not pay attention to this for a while. The watched pot never boils syndrome here, as mine is paused out here around half. And again, I'll speed this up if it's going too slowly so you don't have to sit through the whole import. All right, and it is completed. So now I can go back to my homepage, and I'll have the same homepage as before, but you'll notice that there are no recent announcements already posted because I had removed them from having the opportunity to import. So I have no announcements there. The section is blank here. All right. Some of you may want to know how I wiped out this course and then put it back in again. I am reticent to tell you because it is a very dangerous thing to do. If you misuse it, you could really wreck something. I'll show you where it is. It is in your settings because you should know what's in here. If you're going through and looking at stuff, what is this thing? This thing right here on the side here. Again, if it's not on the side, you'll find these things down at the bottom of the page because your browser window is not as wide as mine. There's a thing here called Reset Course Content. When you do that, it wipes out your entire course. The reason that this is dangerous is that if I happened to be in my current course instead, if I was in my spring course right now during the spring semester, and I accidentally got in the wrong course, not in my blank course, but in my current course, or any of my older courses even, I could wipe them out entirely, and what that does is it destroys the student grades. You can't get it back. You've gotten rid of everything. All your student grades are gone, right? And that, if they ever come back and have questions, or if you haven't published out yet to the faculty portal, then you could actually be ruining your entire semester of students. And if you've never recorded it anywhere, you've never downloaded this information, then you've basically lost an entire semester, and nobody is going to be happy about that. Not you, not your students, not your chair, not your dean, nobody. So if you're going to reset your course content, I'll show you this right here. It's going to ask me, a big red button, do you want to do this? And then I would click this and it would wipe it all out. I will show you that in just a second. Before I show you that, I would like to say that I would recommend anytime I'm resetting this, and I know that this is a blank course. It's got a date name. It's not an average name. So I'm okay with just resetting this without checking anything. But anytime else that you're going to reset a course content, especially if there's a picture right here, this picture is not blank, which shows me that there is stuff in this course right at this moment. So if I want to reset this entire course, I would recommend exporting it first. You click on this, and it allows you to export course content. We have another video on exporting course content. If you're interested in that, you can go there and check that out. It's a really short video. But I would do that first, download the information to your computer, and that way you have a record of all of your students' grades, all that kind of stuff, right? That makes sure that you have saved your course, protected your students, protected you from getting in trouble, and have that information on your computer. Then at that point, you could come in here and click reset course content. And again, this should really only be done for courses that have not yet been published. You know, if I had taken this and accidentally imported it into my Chem 1 class instead of my Chem 42 class and say, oh, no, I imported the wrong information into the wrong course. This course is still unpublished. It's not published. This is not a green button. It's a gray button. That's a time when you can reset stuff. It's not going to hurt anybody, right? But if your course has been published and you reset it, you are wiping out everything that was in that course, and it's very, very dangerous, okay? Here, I'm going to show you. I will reset course content for this course. It makes me nervous even just doing this, but you can see now there's no image here. I go back to the home page, and this is blank, okay? So I've reset this course, and now I could go back in and re-import the correct information if I had incorrectly done it. But again, not something to be done lightly, not something to be done on a published course. It's really just for this situation if you make a mistake right on your first import. That's the only time that I would ever do a course reset as a regular faculty member. All right. If you have any questions about this, please contact us. We are happy to go over anything with this, help you through this, all that kind of thing. I don't want you, to be super scared to do things on your own, but also just be cautious about how you're importing and exporting content. And especially when you're doing it in a published course, which you can still do. You can import partial information like we just did. We could have added some information onto an existing course. So just be careful of that reset. All right. That is all for this video. Please come and visit us. We have sign-ups online. We have workshops. We have recorded workshops. We have one-on-ones. We're here to help you. All right. Take care. Bye.